There's a rhythm to Vietnam, one that never stops, never sleeps, yet somehow always feels at peace. From the emerald waves of Ha Long Bay to the misty peaks of Phan Xipon, from the whispers of ancient temples to the laughter spilling from street cafes, this land moves to its own timeless beat. Here, mornings begin not with alarms, but with the aroma of coffee drifting through narrow alleys. The streets wake up with sizzling walks, echoing horns, and the chatter of 1,000 lives crossing paths. Each sound, each flavor, each color tells a story of resilience, beauty, and quiet strength. Vietnam is not just a place on the map. It's a feeling, alive, unfiltered, and endlessly fascinating. And today, we journey beyond postcards and guidebooks to discover what truly makes this country one of Asia's most captivating miracles. A land where life itself becomes an art form. Shaped like a silk ribbon drifting along the edge of the sea, Vietnam stretches over 1,600 kilometers from the northern mountains to the southern delta. It curves like the letter S, soft yet strong. A land where every bend holds a story, and every horizon leads to a different world. Lying on the eastern side of the Indo-Chinese peninsula, Vietnam borders China to the north, Laos and Cambodia to the west, and opens out to the East Sea and the Pacific Ocean to the southeast. This strategic location makes the country a natural gateway between the Indian Ocean and the Pacific, a golden crossroads where cultures, trade, and ideas have met for centuries. From the air, the country appears like a living watercolor. Green forests, golden coastlines, and silver rivers winding toward the sea. The land's contrasts are striking. Jagged mountains in the north, fertile plains in the south, and a coastline that stretches over 3,260 kilometers, embracing some of the most spectacular natural wonders on Earth. To the East Sea glimmers under the tropical sun, dotted with thousands of islands and beaches that seem too perfect to be real. Among them, Mai Kay Beach, once a quiet stretch of sand in Da Nang, was honored by Forbes as one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. Its soft white sands and turquoise waters now welcome travelers from across the globe, all drawn to Vietnam's balance of wild beauty and gentle warmth. Further north, Ha Long Bay, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, unfolds like a painting in motion. Over 1,600 limestone towers rising from emerald waters. Locals call it the place where the dragon descends to the sea, and as the mist rolls in, it's easy to believe the legend is real. To the west, deep in the mountains of Quang Binh, lies Sun Duong Cave, the largest cave on Earth. Inside, sunlight pours through massive openings to reveal an entire hidden jungle, rivers, and clouds forming beneath the roof of the world. And towering above all stands Phan Xipon, the roof of Indochina. At 3,147 meters, it pierces the clouds above Sapa, its summit kissed by dawn each morning. Standing there, surrounded by an ocean of mist and peaks, you don't just see Vietnam. You feel it, vast, ancient, unyielding. Down south, the Mekong Delta stretches like a living network of veins, carrying life through 9 mighty branches. Boats glide between floating markets, where traders call out over piles of fruit, flowers, and fish. The air smells of mangoes and river breeze. The sunsets linger like warm memories. Vietnam's geography is not just a landscape, it's a living masterpiece painted in water, stone, and light. Few nations in the world balance so many elements in perfect harmony. Mountains whispering to the clouds, rivers weaving through fields, and seas breathing against golden sands. Vietnam is not just one culture, it is 54. Each ethnic group, from the Kinh in the plains to the Hmong in the misty mountains, tells a story of color, rhythm, and spirit. Together, they weave a tapestry of identity that stretches through thousands of years. In the north, ancient villages still echo with the sound of Quan Ho duets from Bac Ninh, where men and women sing poetic dialogues that once carried love across rivers. In the central highlands, the deep resonance of gongs fills the night air during harvest festivals, where people dance around bonfires under star-filled skies. And in the Mekong Delta, water puppets glide across the stage, wooden figures animated by hidden hands, bringing to life the the myths of dragons, rice gods, and heroes of the land. No season captures the soul of Vietnam more vividly than Tet Nguyen Dan, the Lunar New Year, the most sacred celebration in Vietnamese culture. It's more than a date on the calendar. It's a moment when the nation exhales the old and breathes in the new. During Tet, families reunite, children wear new clothes, and homes are filled with the aroma of banh chung and bánh tét, square and cylindrical sticky rice, cakes that symbolize the earth and the sky. The first visitor of the year is carefully chosen, believed to bring fortune to the household. Firecrackers may have quieted, but the joy of Tet still roars through laughter, incense, and song. Throughout the spring, festivals bloom across the country like wildflowers. The Lim Festival in Bac Ninh revives ancient love songs of the Red River Delta. The Perfume Pagoda Festival draws millions of pilgrims who travel by boat through misty limestone valleys to pray for blessings. In April, the Hung Kings Festival honors the legendary founders of Vietnam, the ancestors who united the country's first people more than 4,000 years ago. These celebrations are not relics of the past. They are living memories that continue to shape the nation's spirit, and within this cultural harmony stands a timeless symbol, the Áo Dai, Vietnam's national dress. Flowing, elegant, and modest, it captures the quiet strength of Vietnamese women, graceful yet unyielding, gentle yet proud. Paired with the non la, the conical hat that has shaded generations under sun and rain, the image becomes unmistakable, a silhouette that has crossed borders and hearts alike. Culture in Vietnam is not confined to museums or textbooks. It lives in every street market, every festival, every smile. It's a balance between preservation and reinvention, where the past walks alongside the present. In a world that moves faster every day, Vietnam's traditions remind us that time can still slow down. To the rhythm of a drum, the taste of tea, and the simple joy of coming home. If Vietnam has a heartbeat, it beats in its kitchens, open, smoky, and alive. Here, food is not just nourishment, it's memory, identity, and art. On every street corner, life unfolds on tiny plastic stools. The aroma of sizzling oil mingles with the laughter of strangers. Vendors shout their specials. Motorbikes weave through the crowd, and the air itself feels seasoned with spice and joy. This is not a restaurant scene. It's Vietnam's open-air dining hall, the soul of everyday life. On any street in Vietnam, you'll be drawn into a vibrant and colorful sidewalk world where anything can happen right on the pavement. However, the liveliest street life is found in Hanoi, a city that has been bustling for centuries. Here, the sidewalk is more than a walkway. It's a stage. You might see a barber giving a haircut beneath a banyan tree, a woman repairing watches beside a steaming pot of noodles, or a vendor selling snacks while a child hums a folk tune nearby. Every inch of the pavement is alive, every sound a note in Hanoi's daily symphony. These unique and spontaneous moments can only happen in Vietnam. Nowhere else in the world lives quite like this, and in the middle of this symphony lies a quiet ritual, the unmistakable culture of Tra Da Via He, Hanoi's beloved sidewalk tea. On low plastic stools, friends and strangers sit side by side, sipping cold amber tea as motorbikes drift past like a moving river. Someone lights a bamboo pipe, the deep rumble of a DUK filling the air, while conversations stretch lazily from work to dreams, from politics to poetry. It's simple, unpretentious, and deeply Vietnamese, a rhythm of life that no other place on earth quite captures. Few dishes embody the Vietnamese spirit as perfectly as pho. Born from the misty mornings of Hanoi, it's a delicate balance of rice noodles, fragrant herbs, and slow-simmered broth. Pho bo, with its thin slices of beef and star anise perfume, has been hailed by CNN and Lonely Planet as one of the best soups in the world. It's comfort, tradition, and poetry, all in a single bowl. Then comes the hero of street food, the banh mi, crisp on the outside, soft inside, filled with grilled meat, pickled vegetables, and a drizzle of special sauce. This humble sandwich has become a global ambassador of Vietnamese flavor. The French brought the baguette, but the Vietnamese gave it a soul. From bún chả in Hanoi to com tom, broken rice, In Saigon, every region tells its story through taste. A $2 meal here can rival a feast elsewhere, not because it's cheap, but because it's made with heart. And then there's coffee. Coffee, the nation's liquid pride. In Vietnam, coffee isn't just a drink, it's a ritual. It's where friends meet, where ideas begin, where time slows. In the north, egg coffee, thick as velvet, tastes like dessert in a cup. In the south, iced milk coffee, café suada, hits you with bold sweetness that lingers long after the last sip. Even the world's most curious travelers can't resist the legendary weasel coffee, a specialty brew processed through the digestive system of the civet. Strange as it sounds, it's a taste both rare and unforgettable. One sip, and you understand why this land has turned coffee into an art form. But beyond the flavors lies the atmosphere, the theater of Vietnamese food culture. Imagine sitting by a street stall as the evening breeze carries music from a nearby karaoke corner. A vendor wraps spring rolls with a rhythm that feels like choreography. A grandmother stirs soup while scolding her grandson. Neon signs reflect in the steam rising from your bowl. Here, every meal is a performance, unscripted, genuine, alive. To eat in Vietnam is to feel the pulse of its people. Creative, resourceful, and endlessly welcoming. Food here is not just consumed, it's shared, celebrated, and remembered. Vietnam today is a mosaic of cultures, a place where tradition meets modern rhythm. Walk through the streets of Hanoi, Da Nang, or Ho Chi Minh City, and you'll find faces from every corner of the world. Teachers sipping coffee before class, entrepreneurs meeting clients in co-working cafes, retirees strolling through flower markets. There are now nearly 100,000 foreigners living in Vietnam, drawn not only by its beauty and affordability, but by something deeper, a sense of warmth that feels almost impossible to leave behind. Life here moves slower, but it feels fuller. A meal shared on the sidewalk can turn into friendship. A random conversation over coffee can become the start of a new life. Most expats come from South Korea, Japan, the United States, and Europe. Some work for international companies. Others teach, write, or start small businesses. Many say what keeps them here isn't money, it's connection. Vietnam doesn't just welcome guests, it absorbs them. But life here is not without its challenges. For many foreigners, the greatest puzzle is the Vietnamese language, both musical and mysterious. With its 6 tones, one misplaced pitch can turn a greeting into confusion. In English, you might simply say you, but in Vietnamese, there are dozens of ways to address someone, depending on age, respect, and relationship. Every word carries warmth, hierarchy, and emotion. It's a language that demands empathy, not just pronunciation. At first, this difference can be daunting, like stepping into a world where politeness is coded in tone and smile. But over time, foreigners begin to see the charm, the way strangers become friends after just one xin chào, or how laughter bridges every mispronunciation. Cultural contrasts are everywhere, in how meals are shared, how time is perceived, how respect is shown. Yet somehow, these differences don't divide, they enrich. A Westerner's handshake meets a Vietnamese bow, and suddenly the gap disappears. Vietnam has a way of making people feel at home, not by changing them, but by inviting them to slow down and live with heart. For those who stay, it's not just another country, it becomes a feeling, a gentle reminder that happiness doesn't need perfection, only belonging. Amidst the rhythm of Vietnam's busy streets, its women move with quiet strength and effortless grace. You'll find them everywhere, behind cafe counters, running family shops, managing companies, or teaching the next generation. Whether they're caring for loved ones or leading communities, Vietnamese women embody a harmony of tradition and determination. Their beauty, often praised by international media, goes beyond appearance. It lives in their confidence, patience, and their ability to build something meaningful from even the simplest of days. In Hanoi and Saigon cafes, they gather over iced black coffee in the early mornings, talking about work, family, and dreams, while still finding time to laugh. According to the World Economic Forum, Vietnam ranks among the top Asian countries for gender equality, with women holding nearly a third of leadership positions nationwide. In business, nearly 1 in 3 enterprises is led by a woman, a testament to both resilience and ambition. Yet, the spirit of tradition remains. Along Hoan Kiem Lake, you'll see women in flowing ao dai, their steps light as the autumn breeze. They greet the world with warmth, the same warmth that defines this country itself. In 2023, Vietnam recorded nearly 20,000 marriages involving foreign partners, with about 89% of them being Vietnamese women, a reflection of a society increasingly open to the world, where love and cultural exchange cross borders naturally. To understand Vietnam is to see it through the eyes of its women, resilient, graceful, and endlessly inspiring. They are the quiet pulse that keeps this nation moving forward. With over 4,000 years of history, Vietnam is not merely an old nation, it is an ancient soul that never stopped moving. Through wars, dynasties, and revolutions, the Vietnamese people have rebuilt again and again, carrying with them the same quiet strength that defines their character today. To be Vietnamese is to rise after every storm. It is to find light in hardship, humor in simplicity, and dignity in work. From farmers in the Delta to students in bustling cities, there is a shared belief that effort always leads to growth, that nothing is truly wasted if it's done with heart. This resilience is reflected everywhere, in craftsmanship, in art, and especially in learning. Education has long been seen not as a privilege, but as a duty, a promise parents make to their children and to the future. In recent PISA global assessments, Vietnamese students have outperformed peers in countries like the United States and the United Kingdom, a quiet proof that perseverance and curiosity run deep in the national DNA. Walk through any village or city and you'll see it. A young generation blending heritage with modern ambition, coding apps in internet cafes, painting murals on old colonial walls, dreaming big yet rooted in tradition. They are the continuation of everything their ancestors once fought for. Proof that Vietnam's past is not a memory, but a pulse that still beats through its people. And perhaps that is what makes this country unforgettable. The feeling that time doesn't just move forward here. It circles back, carrying every story, every dream, and every heartbeat into the present. To live in Vietnam is to rediscover balance, where simplicity feels like wealth and peace of mind costs less than you'd ever expect. Every year, millions of travelers and retirees arrive, drawn by a truth that surprises them. Life here is beautifully affordable. According to cost of living indexes, Vietnam's expenses average around 28% of those in the United States. A cozy one-bedroom apartment in the center of Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City might cost only $250 to $400 a month. Utilities, water, electricity, internet, add just a few more. And meals? A steaming bowl of pho for $1, or a restaurant dinner for under $10. But numbers alone don't explain it. The value lies in the rhythm of everyday life. The morning coffee shared with neighbors, the evening stroll through narrow alleys filled with light and chatter. It's a country where time feels generous, not rushed, where luxury is measured not in things, but in calm. Safety is another quiet treasure here. According to the Global Peace Index, Vietnam ranks among Asia's safest and most peaceful nations. Even at midnight, Hanoi's lakes shimmer calmly, and strangers walk past each other with trust rather than fear. It's a kind of safety that feels old-fashioned, the kind that reminds you what community used to mean. And for travelers, arriving here has never been easier. Vietnam now offers an online e-visa valid for up to 30 days, costing about $25. For longer stays, business visas and multiple entry permits are available through local consulates, usually processed within a few days. It's a system designed with openness in mind, fast, simple, and welcoming, much like the spirit of the people themselves. So, whether you come to stay a month or a lifetime, Vietnam greets you with the same warmth. Here, happiness isn't something you chase, it's something that finds you in the quiet moments between sunrise and a cup of tea. Every journey through Vietnam feels less like tourism and more like awakening. It isn't just about seeing new places, it's about feeling time slow down, about belonging, even for a moment, to a rhythm older than memory. Here, travel takes many forms. Some come to meditate in the stillness of ancient temples in Hue, or climb the terraced rice fields of Sapa, where the clouds brush the earth. Others lose themselves in the laughter of Hoi An's lantern-lit nights, or in Da Nang's skyline, where the Dragon Bridge breathes fire against the dark. Luxury seekers find refuge in coastal resorts of Quy Nhon or Mui Ne, places where the ocean meets silence. Meanwhile, culture lovers wander through craft villages in Bat Trong or silk markets in Hoi An, watching artisans turn patience into beauty. But what truly defines travel in Vietnam isn't the destination. It's the feeling. It's the warmth of a local offering tea in a small mountain village. It's the quiet dignity of a cyclo driver who remembers your name. It's the laughter shared over a cup of bia hoi with strangers who become friends by nightfall. Even in the biggest cities, there's a gentleness beneath the noise. Hanoi at dusk feels cinematic. Streets glowing under yellow lamps. Voices rising like music from a forgotten film. Ho Chi Minh City pulses with energy, but behind every skyscraper, there's a street vendor humming an old folk tune. Vietnam is more than a place to visit. It's a place that visits you back. Long after you've left, its scent of coffee, rain, and incense lingers in your clothes, in your dreams, in the quiet moments when you think of home. And perhaps that's the true magic of this land. You don't just travel through Vietnam. Vietnam travels through you. Every journey has a final frame. That quiet moment when the world slows and you realize you're taking more home than photographs. Vietnam doesn't ask for your admiration. It earns your affection. Quietly. It lingers not in souvenirs, but in sensations. The echo of laughter from a street corner, the warmth of tea passed between friends, the sound of waves against a fishing boat at dawn. As you prepare to leave, you may notice something subtle. This country doesn't fade when you board your plane. It follows you, in the calm you carry, in the patience you've learned, in the small joy of living simply. The stories you've gathered here are not endings, they're beginnings. Reminders that beauty often hides in ordinary places, waiting for those who take the time to see. So from the bustling heart of Saigon to the lantern-lit calm of Hoi An, from misty mountains to rivers that never sleep, thank you for traveling with us, for listening, and for feeling this land with open eyes and an open heart. Until next time, from Vietnam, with gratitude and love.